This is Richard Butler again from Total Real Estate Solutions in Kissimmee, Central Florida, and on this short video I'm going to answer the question, can I still help you if you can't obtain a conventional mortgage? And the answer to that is yes. The situation in the credit markets and the high street lending has certainly changed. Underwriting standards have tightened dramatically over the last 12 and 18 months. And gone are the days where just because you want to buy a house you're going to be able to find someone that will lend you the money. Credit and your credit report are going to play a big part in whether or not you're going to be able to qualify for conventional finance, and so will the amount of down payment that you have available. And I have to say that if you have poor credit, you can be helped as long as you have money and some down payment financing. If you have poor credit and absolutely no funding available, then the chances are that you can't be helped. In the current situation, we're recording this in August of 2009, and there is the $8,000 tax credit available for first-time home buyers. That's buyers that have not bought or owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you fall into that category, then you can certainly be helped, because that $8,000 can be utilized in putting together a purchase of a property here in Central Florida. So if you have poor credit and you're not in a position to obtain conventional finance, what can you do? There are really two things. The first thing is to consider a property with owner financing, and we have access to many properties and many owners that are willing to offer owner financing. Now, typically, and this is just a rule of thumb, you are going to need a down payment of between 5 and 10%, and you will still need some money for closing costs. So even with poor credit, if you've got 10% of the purchase price available, you can normally be found a property with owner financing. And how that will work is that effectively you will pay the owner for 1, 2, 3 years, normally on a balloon situation, which will enable you to build a picture of regular payment, no problems, and then it's a much easier proposition to go and refinance once you've got a history of paying successfully on a loan for 1, 2, or 3 years than it is to obtain new financing. So the goal will be to arrange short-term owner financing over a 1, 2, 3 year period to get you over the hump to the point where you can then qualify for conventional mortgage. Owner financing interest rates are going to be higher than a conventional mortgage, but they'll still be competitive and realistic, and it will at least enable you to achieve your goal of home ownership over a relatively short period of time. Now, if you don't have the 5 to 10% down payment required for most owner financing programs, then you're probably going to have to start with a lease option or rent to own program. With this, you become what's known as a tenant buyer. You are a buyer in training, so to speak. So you would purchase a home with normally 2 or 3 times the normal security deposit, so maybe somewhere between $3,000 or $5,000 down. You'll pay a monthly payment, some of which will be applied towards your down payment. And the goal in this lease option scenario is for you to accumulate sufficient equity in the transaction for you to be able to then obtain either owner financing or conventional finance. So again, a 1, 2, or 3 year period is probably going to be involved, during which time you're going to be able to build a great payment history, and then that again will get you over the hump so that you could qualify for conventional finance. And of course, if you're a cash buyer, then we can always help cash buyers. So I hope you found this information on this video interesting and useful, and I'll see you on the next one.